Hi everyone, it's me, B at Kelly Sunflower. So I thought I'd hop on today and share with you a deck that arrived yesterday, and it's called the Junior Tarot Readers Deck and Guidebook. It's 78 cards for budding mystics, and it's by Nikki Van de Kar, and the illustrations are by Uta Krogman. So let's have a look at the back of the box. This stunning tarot deck and guidebook teaches young mystics how to interpret cards to navigate difficult situations with friends, at home or at school, all while offering a better understanding of the power we have over our own lives and decisions. So this deck is published by Running Press. Let's open this up. It's a fold over, I think. Let me see. Okay, so it's a lift off. Oh, look at that. So you get the guidebook and you get the cards tucked in at the side. So let's take out the guidebook and the cards. I'll place the cards there. So the guidebook is not numbered. That's a shame, because I like to know how many pages there are in a guidebook. So it's not numbered. Oh, it's published by Running Press Kids pub in Philadelphia. Okay, I hope the print's not too small for me. I'll have a go. Introduction. Tarot cards are considered a tool for seeing what's really going on or what might happen in the future. At its heart, tarot is a sort of internal divination. Even if it can't tell us things outright, tarot can confirm feelings we've been uncertain about, but know in our hearts are true, and they can help us face some hard truths. Every single reading has something accurate to say. Sometimes they're really obvious and you roll your eyes at yourself for even needing a tarot reading to get. But other times they're a little puzzling and only make sense when you think about it for a while. Most often you'll feel relieved knowing that what is worrying you isn't all in your head. You'll learn to trust your instincts and allow them to help you figure out what you really want. The true meanings from your tarot cards will come from you, from your own life, your own belief system and your own intuition. You give your energy to the cards and they reflect it back to you. You are the one with the power. When you read tarot, you are balancing your knowledge and intuition, and the more you do it, the deeper and further you'll be able to see. Tarot is what you make it. Oh, I like that introduction. It's just straight to the point. So then it gives you some sample spreads. So this is a 3-card spread, and it says here, a 3-card spread can be interpreted in a variety of ways depending on the question. Do you want to know the past, present and future of a situation, or what's going on internally, externally, and what you should do next? If it's a question about a relationship, romantic, friendly or familial, the cards can represent you, them and the relationship. So it talks about the 5-card spread. And then there's something here called make your own. Sometimes the best spread is the one you designed yourself. If you have a specific set of questions, you can draw a card for each one. Some potential questions might include, how did I get there? Why did this happen? What do I really want? What am I afraid of? Then it talks about the arcana. So the major arcana. In tarot, the first 22 cards in the deck are referred to as the major arcana. They are said to hold the bigger, more important meanings, but that isn't strictly true. They are big concepts, the world, death, etc. But all tarot cards have meanings, and remember, No card means more than any other unless you decide it does. I don't agree with that, you know. I think the major arcana is major events, but then everyone's got their own interpretation, haven't they, of how they interpret cards. Then it talks about the minor arcana. So it goes into the suits of the cups, the pentacles, the swords, and the wands. Then it goes into each card. So I'm going to read you out the Fool card as an example. So the Fool, it's got keywords like idealism, innocence, potential, the element, which is air, the ruler, which is Uranus. The Fool is often said to represent our journey through life. It is the first card, and yet it is numbered 0 because it is always starting anew. There's so much imagination and possibility in the Fool that despite what the name might suggest, it is a positive card. It represents fresh starts and clean slates. The Fool is off on an adventure and nothing is going to stand in their way. Interpretation, a past version of yourself, a need to go out and play and have fun. Reverse, the reflective version of this card may indicate a longing to grow up, to put away childish things. So it does that for each of the cards in the major arcana. So it gives you the archetype name, archetype number, some keywords, the element, the planet, interpretations, upright and reversed. So let's have a look at the minor arcana, how that's set out. Okay. Okay, so it starts with cups. I like to start with wands when I'm doing my minor arcana. So it's set out the same way. So for example, the Ace of Cups, it says keywords, love, new relationships beginning, element is water, ruler is Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. This sweet loving card tends to appear when you're about to embark on a new relationship. It's telling you to open your heart. Water is the element of all cups, and in this case, with Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces working together, it's clear that relationships and emotions are incredibly important. Interpretation, reach out and begin a new friendship. You are at the start of something new. And then the reverse meaning means the mirror image is about your relationship with yourself. It's time to show yourself some love and affection. Let me see how the court cards are set out. So the court cards are set out in the same way. So it's quite a nice standard layout. I would have liked to have seen something about the author and the illustrator. I like seeing that in decks, but it's not in this one. I guess because it's a children's deck or aimed more at younger people. Okay, so let's have a look at the cards. Let's have a look at the size, first of all, before I go into the cards. So if I compare it to my regular Rider-Waite Smith, it's bigger, yeah? Now this is supposed to be a children's deck or a deck for young people, and I personally think the cards should be a bit smaller. I've got the children's tarot deck, and that's a pocket-sized deck, and that's what I use to teach my grandchildren the major arcana. I mean, they're only 6, so the pocket size is really nice for their hands. But if I was going on to use this deck, I think they'd struggle trying to hold these cards. So let's just turn them over and have a look at the cards. So I love the purple background and the nice kind of border. So this looks like it's Rider-Waite inspired. So you've got the Fool, it's got the bag, the rose, the dog. One thing I noticed though is that the guidebook doesn't seem to highlight the elements, you know. So I would have liked the guidebook to talk about, you know, what the dog means, what the rose means, what the you know, the bag means. But it doesn't seem to do that in this guidebook, which is okay. It's only supposed to be for younger people and children, and maybe that might be a bit too much information. So you've got the magician with all the tools on the table and his magic wand. The high priestess. You've got the moon there, you've got the book, you've got the pomegranates in the background, you've got different colour pillows. So it is kind of Rider Waite inspired. Empress. Looks like she's in a garden. Emperor. I love the ankh. And I love the upright posture. You know, looks very authoritative. So you've got the Hierophant. Got the key there. But no pupils looking up. I guess that could be seen as somebody's head there, kind of thing, but it's covered. The Lovers. This looks like friendships. The Chariot. I've noticed that instead of white, they're using like this lovely pink. Oh, look at strength. Embracing the lion. The Hermit. Going away to contemplate. You've got the Wheel of Fortune. Justice. You know, so you've got the blindfolds and the sword and the scowls. The Hanged One, or the Hangman. Death. Temperance. The Devil. The Tower. The Star. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Love that. You got the Moon. Oops, daisy. The Sun. Judgment. The Angel blowing the horn. And the World. So moving on to the Minor Arcana. You've got the Ace of Cups. Offering there. Oh, so it is seen, because while it might be pippish. So you've got the Two of Cups. The Three of Cups. The Four of Cups. The Five of Cups. What I like about this deck as well is that all the archetypes seem to be children or young people, which reflects the name of the deck. So, so the children who use this deck might find it relatable, or the audience that uses this deck might find it relatable. Seven of Cups. Eight of Cups. And I love that this Eight of Cups is more of an older, junior person, you know, that they've got the maturity to walk away from things that don't serve them. And also the Nine of Cups seems to be like a more teenagey looking person. And then you've got the Ten of Cups, which again is more teenagey. So you've got the Page. Looks like a fish out of water there. The Knight, which again is teenagey. The Queen of Cups. And the King of Cups. So both feminine energy for the Queen and King. I would like to see more masculine energy for the King, or vice versa. So all the court cards seem to be feminine. So moving on to the Pentacles, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Just trying to find her balance there. Three of Pentacles. Four, holding on tight to her pocket money. Five of Pentacles. You know, there's bare feet, there's snow, so there's, you know, and everything. So even though you can't see the church, it kind of symbolises that out in the cold situation. Six of Pentacles. Seven. She's watering her money there for the growth. Eight of Pentacles. Working hard there. Nine of Pentacles. And 10 of Pentacles. Different generations there. It's kind of, to me, depicting single parenthood though, because you don't have couples. You have like a grandparent, mother, child and dog. I think I would like to have seen more couples in this card to promote more family orientation for children or young people. So you've got the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. So moving on to the Suit of Swords. We've got the Ace of Swords, Two of Swords. Oops, it's slightly stuck. Three of Swords. Four of Swords. And I love how the swords are wood, you know, and not sharp. So there's a kind of like a health and safety element there. You know, or maybe to represent toy swords, I don't know. It's Five of Swords. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. And 10 of Swords. So moving on to the court cards, we've got the Page, the Knight. You can see the movement there by the cloak and stuff, really like the fast movement. The Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. So this is the Suit of Wands. Got the Ace of Wands. The Two of Wands. The ones look like they're tree branches. The Three of Wands. The Four. They're not sticky, but they're slightly. Five of Wands. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands. And 10 of Wands. So moving on to the court cards, you've got the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King of Wands. Beautiful. So let's have a look at the backs of the cards and the card texture before I give them a shuffle. So the backs look like they're completely reversible, which I like. They're kind of like a smooth kind of matte finish. a bit like Make Playing Cards Smooth cardstock. Let's see how these cards shuffle. You know I'm an overhand shuffler. That's my card for the day, the High Priestess. So they shuffle really nice. I wonder how a riffle shuffler... I guess a riffle shuffler could also shuffle them as well because they're quite flexible. They don't bend back as nice, but they can be riffle shuffled, I believe. So what are my first impressions of this deck? I really like it. Lavender is one of my favourite colours, so I love the lavender kind of border and exterior. It kind of gives the cards like a calming, relaxing feel. I love that the archetypes are kind of children and I'd say teenagers or adolescents, you know, because it kind of reflects the archetypes of the title. I also think this deck though would be good for an adult too. Someone that's minimalist, doesn't like too much fuss. It's very much Rider-Waite inspired. And stuff like that. There's not a lot of masculine energy in this deck, and the few masculine kind of looking archetypes in this deck tend to be kind of like feminine. There's no kind of like geezer kind of masculine energy. And I've noticed that a lot with tarot cards recently. A lot of the male energy tends to have a lot of feminine kind of feels. I'd love to see a deck with like geezers, like the Bianca Nero tarot deck, so and stuff. But I think an adult can use this deck, or even a person that's got like learning difficulties, because in my experience of having family members that have got learning difficulties and working with people with learning difficulties, there is a tendency to have a preference for kind of like childlike kind of thing. So, I think somebody with learning difficulties would also appreciate this deck. It shows different skin colours. I wouldn't say that it's completely inclusive, because it doesn't include older people, or people with different abilities, different body sizes. But then it would it really, because it's supposed to be for younger people or a younger audience. With the guidebook, it's straight to the point, which I like. There's no waffle, so I think a beginner would also appreciate this deck, because it does break it down quite simply. And it also gives reversed interpretations, which I like. I like it when books include reversed interpretations, because when the card is reversed, it has a different meaning, in my opinion, to the upright meaning, so I like that that's acknowledged in this book. I would have liked to have seen, though, more explanations for the symbols and stuff. Like, what does a cat mean? What does the sunflower mean? And stuff like that. That I would have liked to have seen, because, to me, I think anything junior or childlike is beginner friendly. I would have also liked to, known a bit more about the author and the illustrator. My grandchildren are going to be 7 in a couple of months' time, and I think this deck is a bit too mature for them. Even though the archetypes would suit them, I think the well, even the book will be okay, but I just think it's the size of the deck that will be a bit of a challenge for them, because they've got small hands. So I could probably use this deck with them, but I think they'd have issues shuffling it, to be quite honest. But I think a teenager or somebody with bigger hands, or even an adult like me that likes childlike things, would appreciate this deck. So I'm looking forward to working with this deck, and I will leave links in the description bar should anybody wish to purchase it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.